Guys, and welcome back to another video, and we're going to switch things up a little bit. I have a feeling that some of you may be struggling just a little bit with the draft site software, so the next couple of videos are going to be just kind of short and sweet, simple, right to the point. We're going to talk about the CAD commands. In fact, what I've done to do this is I've come in here and created a basically this would be a bedroom layout. So typical bedroom, roughly around 11 by 10.5 feet. Your boundaries are defined by the door into the bedroom, the folding doors for the closet, and this window right here. So what I was wanting to do is just do a shelf layout, something really quick here that that uses the CAD commands, for figuring out the track and the radiuses and all that stuff. So it's probably more just CAD focused than more CAD focused than design focused is what I'm trying to say. So before we get started though, I was looking at my videos here. So starting here at about video 2A all the way up to about video 6, I mean, these aren't very many views, okay? And so I think maybe what some of you guys are doing is you're trying to just bypass this stuff, and I wouldn't recommend that. If you want to use CAD, efficiently, and you want to be able to use it from here on to do your designs, your layout designs, then I recommend watching those videos. If you're just kind of window shopping on the videos and just kind of passing along, and you might watch one of these videos and just drop a comment, it's too hard, or I can't do it, or takes too long, then these videos are not going to be for you for sure. So but I do know there's some of you guys out there who are really following this and trying to really use the CAD software in order to design your layout. And so those are the guys that I want to help. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Before I get started on CAD commands, let me just remind you, I talked about this in an earlier video, aliases. So if you go to Tools, Options, go to User Preferences and Aliases. If you expand this node, these are all on the left side where it says Command. These are all the CAD commands that Draft Site uses. The ones on the right, these are aliases. These are user defined. In other words, for instance, for like the layer command, we come down here and look for layers. You can see here, I think I went in and specified this as LA. So in other words, if we typed in LA down here in the command line, it brings up the layers dialog. It could be anything you want it to be. It could be XYZ. XYZ. Actually, let me turn my cap lock on there. XYZ. You could use that alias for the layer command. Then you'd come down here, and down here you type in XYZ. And it'll bring up your layers manager. So let me change that back real quick. So if you see me issue a command and you've been following along and you type in the command, the same alias, and it doesn't give you the result that I get, that's probably the reason why. So you may want to consider that. If you're not getting the same results. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the design here. So I've got my room here, I've got my boundaries, and I'm going to do a shelf layout, probably something U-shaped. I'm not going to go around the perimeter of the room. Again, this isn't going to be my design, but I just thought I'd do something that might be a little bit more simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off here by issuing the polyline command. Now remember, the polyline, poly means many, so you're able to draw many lines, but you can treat them as one object. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to stop it about right in there. So if I click on that line I just drew, you can see it's one entity, but it's actually 3 different lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset that into the room 18 inches, which would be the width of my shelf layout. So I'm going to type in O for offset, and I know 18 inches to be 1.5 feet, so I'm going to type in 1.5 feet and offset that into the center of the room like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and draw the polyline command again, use the polyline command, and I'm just going to connect the line I drew around the perimeter and that line just to kind of show where the end of the bench work's going to be. And so now what I want to do is I want to chamfer this in here. I don't want 90 degrees, so you can actually issue the chamfer command, CHAMFER, I believe. Yeah, I don't particularly like to use that. I just come in here and I'll draw a circle. I'm going to specify the radius of 1 foot, so I'm typing 1.0, and then I'm just going to draw another polyline from the intersection of there to the intersection of there, and I'm going to move my circle up here and do the same thing for this one up here. So polyline from there to the polyline to there, erase my circle. Now I'm going to issue the trim command, which is TR, and I'm going to trim to that line. That same thing down here. There we go, that's looking good. Now I'm going to issue the P edit command, which is PE. What this will enable me to do is to join all these polylines that I've just drawn. So I'm going to select that one, and then I'm going to type in, remember the blue lettering down here are your options, so I want to type in J to join, because that's what I want to do. I'm going to join all these polylines, so I'm going to type in J down here. And I'm going to select the first polyline, the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, so on, so on. There, so now I can treat that all as one entity, okay? So I don't want that on the 0 layer. See, if you look up here in layers, we've been drawing on the 0 layer. If we click there, you know, it shows that it identifies it in the properties window as 0 layer. I want to change that to this layer here that I had created when I was doing my layout, this edge layer here. So I'm going to highlight this, come over here to properties and choose edge. And so as you can see, we've already got our, you know, our layout started, you know, our bench work, so, or our shelf anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a little bit thicker so it kind of stands out. So I'm going to come down here to global width and type in 0.025. And there we go. We have our bench work drawn in there. So just to check that dimension, let's type in DA for dimension aligned. And we'll go from this endpoint to this endpoint. And there you go. You can see it's 1 foot 6 inches. Should be the same thing on this one up here. And we have 1 foot 6 inches. Same thing here. 1 foot 6 inches. Let's see what we got between the two shelves. So if I come in here and let's just draw a dimension line from there to there, we have 7.5 feet. Okay, so hopefully this will these next couple of videos will just be like a whole lot more informative, intuitive about how to actually draw the track. In the next video we'll start track placement. So guys, I hope this helps out, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.